Hello everyone. Topic of today is shift from enterprise XR to ethical XR. Who we are to talk about XR? I'm Kuldeep Singh, having 17 years of IT experience in building solutions on IoT, XR, and robotics. I have incubated center of excellences around these technologies, and currently I am heading XR practice at India in ThoughtWorks.
Hi, I'm Raju Kandasamy. I have 17 years of IT experience, out of which 6 years are into building XR solutions. Prior to ThoughtWorks, I ran a couple of startups. One of them built industrial robots, and the other built XR experiences for the real estate sector. At ThoughtWorks, I lead the XR practices along with Kuldeep. I have a master's degree from BITS Pilani.
Any advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And that is very true for augmented and virtual reality technologies. It is also known as extended reality, XR. And today we will discuss about rise of XR and managing how enterprises are managing their complexity using XR and the need of ethical XR. Okay, let us start. Before starting the journey of XR, let us understand what exactly XR is. There are a number of acronyms available in industry, AR, VR, MR. Let's understand each of them. Starting with AR. AR is all about augmenting the reality, augmenting the digital content on top of the real world environment, either by seeing through some glasses or camera screen or even mirror. So just changing the reality, augmenting on top of the real environment. That's AR. On the other side of it is VR, which is virtual reality. You still augment the digital content, but on top of a virtual environment, a digital content on top of a digitally created environment. So that's VR. In VR, you don't see the real world environment. If you see the devices on the right side, you don't see them. All are blind. So that's VR devices. There are other ways to understand this, like MR. MR is a term coined by Microsoft, and it combines both AR and VR together. You can still project the content on the real environment and see the right real environment through those glasses. If you see in the middle, but what extra it provides, MR. In MR, you can detect the environment, you can detect the lighting condition. Your devices know where you are with respect to the environment, how far is the front wall is, and you can really overlay the content on a table which is in front of you. So this is MR. Then other ways to understand is mobile XR, mobile based XR. Yes, your smartphone today is that smart that it is supporting XR. It can be used for AR and also for VR. Other ways, web XR. The websites we are using today, they can also be enabled XR. You can open such websites on XR enabled devices, just like your phone. Open XR enabled website on your phone, and everything you are doing on mobile based or app based XR, you can do on your websites as well. Other area is HUD, heads up display. It's very old, where you project certain things on heads up display, like a car windshield. You project certain things on there, and it is the digital content is projected there. And other projection based display is 3D displays, projections which all you can see through your naked eye. You don't need special devices. So these are few of the XR devices, or the way we understand XR. All in all, everything which changes the reality is XR. So that's XR. Let's now understand who all are in the game. Today, there is a race of building normal looking glasses, the smart glasses. Recently, you have seen Ray-Ban comes up with smart glasses with Facebook. Geo glasses, you might have already heard about it. Other area is happening. Every enterprise is now looking to define their 3D strategy, either by acquisitions, investing in them, or partnering with them. Look at Google. Google is already pioneer in this. Google bring in Google Glass in the market much ahead of the time. And now they're looking for smart glasses. They acquired a company called North. And think about Lenovo Think Reality A3 smart glass, very lightweight. And if you need to look at acquisition, think about this. TikTok recently acquired Pico VR device. Epic Games, they are pioneer in building gaming engine. On using them, XR applications are built. Unreal is a gaming engine that is built by Epic Games. And they acquired 3D content portal Sketchfab. Wikitude is acquired by Qualcomm. So there are major acquisitions happening in this. And other thing which is fueling is network speed is increasing, computing speed of devices is increasing. All these are fueling the rise of XR. Now look at this. Hundreds of devices are already there in market, trying out use cases around XR. Now look at this. 1400% growth happened in AR VR engineers. So that is the data. It's a 2020s data, but it will continue in our opinion. So that's about how XR is in market. Let's understand from Raju how it is rising in enterprises. Raju, over to you.
Thanks, Kuldeep. How do we manage the enterprise complexity? VR and AR is no more a hype. VR and AR is out of Gartner's hype cycle now. Now, enterprises need to deal with a lot of challenges during the pandemic and post-pandemic times, like slow and costlier onboarding, difficulty in selling the products, growing operation costs, and also pandemic did impact the human behavior itself. Large mass of the people are mostly germophobic. They are afraid of touching the surfaces or trying the products on the in the shop or even the visiting shop itself. So that's where the XR technologies come in and offer solve these post-pandemic problems one by one. So, looking at the challenges that the enterprises face, that the enterprises need to build a pandemic-proof infrastructure and also do a digital transformation. And now that people are not visiting the shops, physical shops anymore, it makes all the more important to make the business available in the digital platform. Now the workforce is scattered. Everybody is working from home, and that makes the business need to tailor itself for the location agnostic virtual workplace, and also build autonomous intelligence systems to work in the enterprise segment. Training and upskilling the workforce in the given virtual environments. That's where XR comes and helps people to solve all these enterprise problems effectively. We can move to the next slide, Kuldeep. Looking at the numbers, what we call an unextended digital business is that the business that is not making use of XR anymore, not extending the business. The businesses that uses XR technology, we call them extended digital business. So what unextended digital business are going to miss is that 35% of productivity improvement. GE being pioneer in this, they used XR technology to improve their productivity by 35% by deploying the instructions in an AR device in the shop floor assembly line, which increased 35% of productivity. And it's also predicted that the extended digital businesses are going to make use of that 46% of market share, which is going to be available in the training and industrial maintenance segment. PIDR is also, strongly growing in the AR software and hardware segment, and it is predicted at 184% increase in the coming years, and 3/4 of this spending will be attributed to the XR devices. And globally, there is an estimate of $571 billion by year 2025 in the XR segment.
Yeah, that's huge, Raju. Let's start with retail. Who have not seen Lenskart use case where people are just scanning the faces and trying the glasses on their face? It's all virtual. Virtual try-on is a huge use case already there in market. And now we have seen the transition from e-commerce to m-commerce, mobile-based, app-based. And then now it's going to virtual commerce. And even we can call it X commerce, where first character is changing all the time. X can be replaced with anything. There are a number of use cases where try before buying kind of use cases where furniture, etc. You can try at your home. Interior products you can try at your home, how they look, and then you take decision faster and order them just on then and there. So try before buying, fitment use cases, other use cases, communal shopping. Earlier, people used to go in shopping mall or shopping center, but now communal shopping is possible through these devices or this technology. You just try, for example, beauty product. Try those beauty products on your face and do it live with your friends and family and ask their opinion, and just based on feedback, you just go and buy it. That's how we used to do shopping. So that's the changing human behavior happened even due to pandemic also. And there are not just for e-commerce side, there are number of use cases on in-shop also, stores also. Just by looking at the product, you can get all the data related to that product, like ratings, like who all bought it, or maybe customer comments. You can just look at the product through your phone or your device. You will get all the data. So these kind of things are also getting implemented in store also. So that's one part of it. Now let's see how industrial segment is trying it. They're making use of this technology for training and maintenance, making the training more realistic, going from plain paper-based or physical training which require physical objects or physical machine. Now that is moving from either making those physical objects more interesting, putting life on them, just look at them and get the data what is needed right in that context. There are experts sitting remotely. They cannot be present in all the places needed, and they need not to be. They can guide the person at remote location by sharing the environment through these devices. Let's look one of the example in industry from Lenovo, how remote experts and service assistance is working. I'm playing a video for that.
Everything evolves. Our planet, our lives, especially how we connect. At times, these evolutions can happen on their own, and others, they need a push to advance. Think Reality is a catalyst, pushing you past the proof of concept. evolving your workplace right now. This is the evolution of collaborating, where meetings are immersive, expanding past what we've always done, efficiently, securely, wherever you are. This is the evolution of training, where employees learn new skills in safe settings, interactive, repeatable, with measurable results. This is the evolution of leadership, where seasoned experts guide your newest employees seamlessly, with ease, from across continents. Scalable, immersive, enterprise-grade solutions. Not when, but now. This is the evolution of working smarter together. Lenovo Think Reality.
So this is Lenovo's Think Reality platform. They have now new device A3, which is very normal looking. There are a number of such use cases by other enterprises also. Microsoft Office 365, Dynamic 365 does has these use cases. PTC has number of industrial use cases. So just look at the point. Repeatable, you can try these trainings, these use cases in repeatable and economical fashion. Other part is you can demonstrate the thing that you cannot demonstrate normally. For example, airbags functionality of car. You cannot demonstrate in your showroom how airbag would function. But with this technology, you can do. Let's see another example from Hyundai. See how airbag and car safety can be shown just in the showroom without really moving the car. So these are the use cases industry is already trying. Let's get into another domain, real estate. There are number of VR use cases already there. Real estate agencies now, they have, whenever you go to buy a home, you have studios there. You can try these things not just before buying, before it is built. You can define, you can see how it will look, what all interior design will be there. You can customize those interior designs and lot of things. Other area is how to manage all this big real estate. For example, airports, hospitals, schools. There are number of things. For example, BIM, building information model, can be augmented just in your view. So that, for example, when we say BIM, where exactly the pipes, water pipe in the building is, where exactly the electricity wire is, so that if there is any repair required, any servicing is required in that building, the executive just go and dig only the area where defect is, so that they don't go and dig any unnecessary area. So that's how this kind of use cases is being used. Another is indoor positioning. At ThoughtWorks, we have built Office Explorer, an app which we have installed in our Gurgaon office, where a visitor can use the tablet and can really roam around the office and see where the visitor want to go, in which meeting room the appointment is, through an indoor navigation. on this was a small project built by community, but this type of indoor positioning or virtual positioning system can be used to build products like order management in a warehouse, a huge warehouse located in kilometers. How to find a particular product from there. So these type of use cases can be used there. Yeah, so let's understand more use cases from Raju around healthcare. Yeah, Raju.
Thanks, Kuldeep. The other important segment where XR is already making an impact is the healthcare segment. The primary use case where XR is being deployed in the healthcare segment is the in the operation theaters, visualizing the CD scan, the DICOM data in real time inside the operation theater, allowing the doctors to plan the surgery. And also during the surgery, locate the spots of the CT scan, and also do the real-time sectioning of the DICOM data and CT scan, and get insights from the data even before they perform the critical surgery. So this becomes really, really important in saving lives. The other area that XR is helping is there are XR assisted telemedicine applications where it allows the practitioner to locate the pain area with the assistance of augmented reality. And also it helps in medical training and anatomy visualization for the medical students with an inexpensive device. The student will be able to visualize, slice and dice the anatomy and learn stuff from that. One more major area where VR is being applied in the medical domain is VR therapy, helping the patients to elevate the pain by teleporting them to a different place and making believe them that they are in a different space and time and are not aware of the surgery or the pain that they are going through. And one more area in the same lines is addressing the phobia. VR can simulate the phobia kind of environment for the user and allows the psychiatrist to assess what are all the brain chemicals getting generated, and enables them to measure when the phobia situation arrives in the VR. So there are several use cases, and XR technology is being actively used to solve problems in the healthcare sector. Next slide, Kuldeep. The next segment is the segment. XR is not only used to visualize the data, but it also provides ways and means for simulation. One major segment which uses simulation extensively to produce digital twins and for AI production is the autonomous vehicle sector. The tools that are being used to create the XR experience, they are very well capable of cooking up a fake city or fake environment with a parametric modeling where it can tweak the environment at real time, so that the machine learning models can be trained at different environments, different lighting conditions, different times of the day, and with randomized cars, human beings crisscrossing across, all that is being made possible using the XR simulation. Now that being said, physically creating a fake city for producing the AI models is time consuming, and it incurs a lot of cost. XR takes away all the cost, and it makes the AI production faster. And the AI prototyping can be done with the XR simulation with the XR tool in no time, making time to market, reducing the time to market significantly. We are also at ThoughtWorks, we are covering this XR simulation part extensively in our masterclass learning sessions in October 20th. Please make sure, if you are interested on this topic, you can visit the URL listed in the slide. register yourself and be available in October 20. And let's discuss about this in masterclass in detail. Coming to building of this XR technology, it doesn't mean that every solution need to be built from scratch. XR tools and development frameworks and engines are very well capable of integrating with the existing systems, thereby saving your existing investment in the IT infrastructure. So we have game engines like Unity, Unreal Engine. For web, we have Three.js and Babylon.js. Both of them are capable of integrating with the backend services to fetch the data and do the visualization. Platform-specific experiences and customizations can be brought in with the help of SDKs and frameworks like ARCore and ARKit, where the business logic can be written. And these engines and the SDKs are very well capable of targeting wide variety of platforms like iOS, Android, Windows, Linux, and also wide variety of devices. So building XR, we can leverage your existing IT infrastructure investments and as well bring the fruitful XR experiences into your solutions effectively. Okay, thinking about how do we tackle the architectural complexity with the XR. So XR development is not only to deal with consuming the XR experience, that is, building the XR experience itself. There are a lot of efforts goes behind the scenes. So we would like to highlight the major building blocks that are involved in building an XR solution. One of the building block is the XR content management, where we create the 3D models using wide variety of technology solutions. It can be built manually using a 3D modeler. It can be done with a photogrammetric solution, 360-degree videos, and there need to be XR content management where this models can be published and can be consumed. If your XR experience is going to use your existing IT infrastructure, then the enterprise integration building block is all the more important. Integrating with the existing ERP system and MDM solutions. Not all the business are the same. Every business has its own unique experience to be built in. So that comes the customization building block. You can customize your business specific XR solutions using SDKs and frameworks like MRTK, ARKit, and ARCore. If the e-commerce site already, if you have an e-commerce site already running, you can look at an web XR experience and include XR experience for the existing customer base. Having said that, we also need to strategize and look at how, after developing all these XR solutions, how do we monetize them? What are the revenue streams that XR can bring it in? Are we going to provide a virtual try-on kind of an experience? Are we building an XR commerce? Are we helping manufacturing and the industrial segment to streamline their workflow? Are we bringing a remote expertise into helping the field worker? And how do we monetize them? Can we white label our solutions to the outside parties? So this is again a separate building block that need to be thought of. Having said all this, we need to repeat the process. XR solution is not about building the experience once. We need to build it again and again, and for multiple different business use cases. So it becomes really important. How do we build this solution themselves? So at ThoughtWorks, we already standardized these practices and align them with agile way of building software. So we have agile way of building XR solutions. We have TDD for XR. We built our own test automation frameworks, which is called Arium, and also continuous deployment for XR pipeline. So that's a separate building block. These building blocks you can mix and match depending upon your business need and the business solution that you are going to build in. What you, Kuldeep?
Thanks, Raju. This covers how enterprises are using XR, what all directions they are going. We want to touch upon another aspect of it, need of ethical XR, and why enterprises still need to stay invested. So, in our opinion, XR is unstoppable. It is here to stay long. The reason is advancement in technologies like IoT devices or network speed, hard computing speed is increasing. All these are fueling, and AI solutions, all these are fueling these XR solutions. Industrial focus is changing, physical to digital. They have seen the advantage of going digital, filling the gap between physical to digital, or calling it digital twin. Rather than trying things on physical things, try on digital twins. And the new terms, metaverse by Facebook. All these things is going to change a lot. And XR technology will be the key of all this. You have seen in past, you are under CCTV surveillance, but now you will always be under XR surveillance. You may not be notified also. People are wearing smart glasses. You don't know when you are getting recorded. So the technology is getting adopted without any standards and regulations as such. And that's the area we want to touch upon today, and the need of being there. Let's go little few more year ahead. Right now, we might not be looking the need of that, but look at today, generating photorealistic human avatar is very much possible. We are talking about digital twin from last 5-6 years, and now there is a scanning photogrammetry tools are available. They can scan the 3D model easily and can generate the real looking human avatars. What that means. And also there are bots. They can talk like you. Your voice can be trained. There are systems which can understand your voice. That also means they can speak your language as well. So avatar can speak on your behalf. Now imagine you are attending this session, and at the same time, a video is floating on social media showing you at a place where you never wanted to be in. This is the privacy matter we want to talk now. So, do we need a unique ID for our virtual avatar? Maybe in future, yes, we would need that. Whenever my avatar or whenever I get teleported to somewhere, the tool should take my consent. If I have given my consent, then only my avatar should be available somewhere else or to be used. Now, to implement such kind of standards, you would need investment and interest from multiple entities. Enterprises need to invest. The hardware makers, software makers, network providers, they need to have systems. And on top of that, government organizations, regulatory authorities need to come together to define this kind of need, this kind of identity that can safeguard my privacy. Yeah, Raju, what do you want to talk about other mind-blowing aspects of it?
Yeah, so XR as a technology, it's an immersive technology. When we say immersive, it actually teleports you to the experience itself. So it is kind of can influence your decision making process. So having said that, XR is a technology which can influence your decisions. How do we make sure that it is not exploited by by the odd entities? One such thing can happen in the political space. How do you make sure that? How do we make sure that in the political scenario, XR technology is not being used to influence your voting decision? So things like that need to really come into a regulatory body, and we need a censoring mechanism for the XR ads that are going to be there in the in the device in the near coming futures. It should not be free flow kind of an advertisement that can float in your VR devices. It really needs regulation and censoring. And also, we as a technology, VR and most of the AR devices, they are recommended only for adults. The reason being, we are below the age of 18. The most of the children's brains are evolving, and we don't want to put an brain influencing technology to the children to for the experience. So it is always recommended to use these devices whenever the children are going through an XR experience. It's always recommended to do that with the help of a parent or a guide or a mentor who is an adult watching them, and the process need to be made sure, and it doesn't hurt the growth of the children. There need to be strong regulations coming from the government and private entities on this space. There are already entities and organized efforts that are going in this particular addressing the ethical XR challenges. One of that initiative is XR Safety Initiative by xrsi.org. IEEE section of SAE is also trying out some part of the ethical XR. And there are organized events from Florida Atlantic University, which talks about the challenges in ethical XR. And also the XR Ethics Manifesto is being actively being prepared. Now, having said all these challenges, XR provides advantages way beyond the challenges posed by the ethical XR. Like XR tech is a life-saving tech, and it provides so many advantages for the enterprise segment. So, in conclusion, we recommend the enterprise users to stay invested in the XR technology. At the same time, we request regulatory bodies, government, device manufacturers, and the development communities to come together and define the rules, regulations, and censoring mechanisms that are needed for the XR tech and XR content. And together, we need to make it safety to use for all the consumers, enterprise, individuals, adults, and children. Let's make XR a safe technology for everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.